This squadron is a carrier-based squadron. We have 8 aircraft that are embarked on an aircraft carrier to support search and rescue, ship defense, anti-surface warfare, special operations, and personnel recovery.
We do anti-surface warfare stuff, so we fight enemy ships. We do maritime interdiction operations, so hunting down pirates, drug interdictions. We do maritime special warfare support, and then we do maritime personnel recovery. Apart from all that, we also conduct all the SAR for the battle group, and we provide logistics support as well, moving passengers and cargo around.
We embark on the MH-60 Sierra Romeo as rescue swimmers. We train to that basically every day, being at the squadron. Go out and do SAR jumps, and we do basic life-saving skills in the back of the aircraft. We deploy the litter to be able to pick up any downed aviators that are in the water or have ejected from a fixed-wing aircraft.
It's the same airframe as a Black Hawk, however, of course, as you can see, it's painted gray. We added a couple extra modifications to it to make it more Navy friendly.
This is a navalized Black Hawk. This aircraft that you see behind you actually started its life as a production Black Hawk and then received a number of naval modifications which enabled it to be better in the maritime environment. You'll notice this one is actually configured for anti-surface warfare, the extended wing pylons on either side. On the left pylon, we're able to put a 20mm cannon, a 4-pack of Hellfire missiles, or an unguided rocket pod. And coming to this squadron and the Navy writ large this next year is also a guided rocket system. Basically take your Vietnam era rocket launcher, put a digital brain on the back of it, and that enables you to put both guided and unguided rockets in the tube.
We have a lot of capabilities and a lot of the equipment on the aircraft, a lot of the extra systems we have and the weapon systems that make it just a really incredible platform. You get in there and you feel very equipped with what you have available to you and the different capabilities of what we can put on and off the aircraft. And I think that makes it really unique to the Navy and different from the Black Hawk.
The aircraft will have some of its weapon systems on board at all times, as well as having the cabin prepared with a rescue swimmer, rescue gear, and being positioned in such a way that you're either airborne or about to be launched if the need should arise to execute either of those missions.
We have our pool training. We do 2 to 3 times a week where we'll get into the pool and we'll have actual scenarios to where we have survivors in the water, and we'll embark into the pool and we'll go through our disentanglements to make sure they're clear of the parachute, and then determine what injuries they may have, and determine on that we will put them either in a litter or get them out of the water as fast as possible.
The first time you fly an aircraft out to an aircraft carrier, it's a real breathtaking experience. You always fly over it and you wonder how we were able to make anything this big ever able to float. It's really a floating city, 5,000 people, 60 aircraft.
It's pretty cool. It's like your own small little city out on the water, and I've found that there's a real sense of pride. The first time I went to the aircraft carrier, I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was pretty excited, and so landing and taking off of it with the jets going, the entire air wing, it's a pretty incredible experience, and I think it is something that really defines naval aviation is the aircraft carrier. It's a pretty cool experience, and it's cool to be a part of so many, with the surface warfare officers, with the other pilots, all kind of coming together as one to get the ship going and execute the mission. The most memorable moment so far is when we did disaster relief down in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. We were doing a pretty difficult landing in the mountains, and we were bringing food and water to a village that had been without food and water for a few days, and it was incredible seeing the reaction on their faces when we were able to land and deliver, thousands of pounds of food and water to them, and the smiles on their face. And I had one man come up to me and say how thankful he was and how much of a blessing the crew was to bring him all the food, and that right there was one of the most amazing moments that I was able to be a part of that and help those people out. It was incredible.
Full spectrum of what Navy helicopters do was realized there, from the sea. We embarked on a helicopter at sea on a big ship, and in that case it was an LHD. We pushed inland to Puerto Rico, and on a particular mission, we landed in a baseball field. Two of my rescue swimmers disembarked the aircraft, picked up a man who was in critical condition, kept him alive for half an hour as we flew him out to a different naval ship to get him critical care on a hospital ship. So I mean, that in a nutshell shows what Navy helicopters do that nobody else does.
My grandfather, my uncle, and my cousin were all naval aviators. And looking to go to college, one of the opportunities was the United States Naval Academy. And I really liked the leadership opportunities that it had to offer, as well as being able to serve my country after it. And that led me into naval aviation. It was one of the options to service select upon commissioning and graduating from there. And I really felt myself adapt with all of the people who are in naval aviation. I like the culture, I like the job, I like the pride you felt, or not, that I now feel having flown an aircraft and helping support the mission of defending the country.
Being a sailor in the Navy is a great experience. I joined when I was 20 years old. There wasn't really anything going on out in the civilian life, and one of my first choices was to be a rescue swimmer. Just to be able to be that crewman and have this responsibility is something that a lot of people look up to, and I was proud to be able to become one.